We have completed the first half of module 6 that was about computer aided design, CAD. So now we are starting with the second half of module 6, that is finite element analysis, abbreviated as FEA. So what is FEA, finite element analysis? It is a computerized method for predicting or testing how a product reacts to real world forces such as vibration, stress, strain, heat, etc. Okay, so we have studied CAD and we know that CAD is used for designing components as well as for making realistic 3D images of components. So CAD can design components as well as it can give a detailed realistic image of that particular component. So these are performed on a manufacturing point of view. The design details and the 3D image helps to manufacture that particular component. So before physically manufacturing that particular component, we have to test the behavior of each of the components or behavior of the components under different situations in the real world. That is, how that product will react to stresses, or how will the temperature distribution among the various parts of that particular component be. So these factors should be analyzed before physically manufacturing a component. And for this purpose, for analyzing the behavior of components to real world forces such as temperature, stress, strain, vibration, etc., this tool finite element analysis is used. So let us consider the design of an electrical machine as example. Let us consider the design of a DC generator. So we know that that particular machine will have a maximum permissible temperature beyond which its insulation gets damaged. So at any time, the temperature of any part of the machine should not exceed its final steady temperature, maximum permissible temperature. So after designing that particular machine, we have to test under different load conditions. We have to analyze the temperature distribution at different parts of the machine. Okay, so then we can understand, we will get an idea about the temperature under different parts, whether any part of the machine will be overheated, will the insulation get damaged due to that particular loading. So these factors can be analyzed, and FEA helps to analyze this. So other than temperature analysis in electrical machine, we can also analyze the flux distribution in different parts. In case of automobiles, we can analyze the vibration, or we can also do crash analysis. What will happen if an automobile that we have designed collides with another automobile? So crash analysis can be done using finite element analysis. So like that. So FEA or finite element analysis is a tool used for testing or analyzing the behavior of a component to real world forces. Okay. അപ്പോൾ CAD-ൽ നമ്മൾ പഠിച്ചത് ഒരു ഡിസൈൻ ഡീറ്റെയിൽസും കിട്ടും, നമുക്ക് ഒരു 3D ഇമേജും പ്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. ബട്ട് ദേ ആർ ഹെൽപ്ഫുൾ ഫോർ മാനുഫാക്ചറിങ് ദാറ്റ് മെഷീൻ ഓൺലി. പക്ഷേ നമുക്ക് ആ മെഷീൻ്റെ ബിഹേവിയർ ടെസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാതെ ഡയറക്റ്റായിട്ട് മാനുഫാക്ചർ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല. So the behavior of the machine under different physical conditions can be tested using this finite element analysis tool. Now, this FEA tool works by breaking down a real object into a large number of finite elements. So in this finite element analysis, any object, any continuous object is broken down into a number of elements. So that is why this technique is called as finite element analysis. Any object is broken down into a finite number of elements. So this process of breaking down a component into a number of elements is known as discretization or meshing. Discretization or meshing. Okay. Then that system as a whole. So if we are considering an object, the object as a whole may be a complex structure. So it may be sometimes defined with the help of a higher order partial differential equation. So if we have to mathematically represent that particular object as a whole, we need some higher order partial differential equations. But if we are dividing that particular object into a number of elements, we can use simple algebraic equations for representing each of the element. Then we can individually solve those simple algebraic equations, and by combining all the solutions, we will get the solution to the entire problem, or we will get the behavior of the actual object. So this is the basis of finite element analysis. Any object is divided into a number of elements. Then the behavior is tested for each of the element. Then by combining the behavior of all the elements, we will get the behavior of the entire object. So now also consider an electrical machine as an example. So if we have to test the temperature at different parts, we will divide that machine into different elements, and then we will calculate the temperature rise at each of the elements. Then by combining the value of temperature rise at all the parts, we will get an idea about the temperature distribution among all parts of that particular machine. So here in this figure, a particular object is discretized. The discretization or meshing of a particular structure is shown. So the structure obtained after meshing is known as a mesh. So this is known as a mesh. This combination of elements is known as a mesh. So FEM cuts a structure into several elements like this. And these elements can have any shape. They can be circular shape, triangular, it can be of a square shape, tetrahedral, pentagonal shape, any shape the elements can have. And see the points, these points at the boundary of the elements are known as nodes. So this is a typical node, and nodes acts as the connection point between elements. Okay, so this is a continuous object, we know that, and after meshing we will not consider it as a continuous object. Okay, so then we will assume that each element is connected to its adjacent element only at its nodes. So here if we consider this particular element and this particular element, at this section there is not a continuous connection. This element is connected to this element only at these three nodes. So one element is connected to another element at the nodal points only. So we can say that the nodes acts as pins or drops of glue that holds two elements together. Okay. So a continuous object ആയിരുന്നു, പക്ഷേ divide ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ it will not remain continuous then. So divide ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അത് ഒരു discrete elements ആണ്, ഇത് തമ്മിൽ ഒരു continuous connection ഇല്ല, and it is assumed that the elements are then connected together at the nodes only. So ഈ എലമെൻറ്റും എടുത്താൽ ഈ മൂന്ന് നോഡ്സിൽ മാത്രമേ അത് തമ്മിൽ കണക്ഷൻ ഉള്ളൂ. ആ പോയിൻറ്റ്സിൽ മാത്രം നമ്മൾ ഗ്ലൂ ഒഴിച്ച് ഒട്ടിച്ചതുപോലെ ഓർ പിൻസ് വെച്ചിട്ട് ഹോൾഡ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത് പോലെ. So one of the element is connected to its adjacent elements at the nodal points only. So now after discretizing a structure like this, we can use simple algebraic equations for representing each of the element or each of the this elements of the mesh or element of the continuous object. So thereafter we can individually solve each of the equations, and by combining all the solutions we will get the solution to the entire problem. So here in this figure the meshing or FEA analysis of an electrical machine is shown. So this is the stator and rotor laminations of an induction machine. So here meshing is done. So the zoomed view is shown here. So that lamination is converted into, divided into a number of meshes of any shape. The meshes can have any shape. And after meshing it, after dividing the entire continuous object into a number of meshes, say we are calculating the temperature distribution for this particular machine. We are analyzing the temperature distribution among various parts of this machine. So after meshing, after dividing this particular part into a number of elements, we can use equations for representing temperature rise. So we know the equation for calculating temperature rise. So equations are used for each of the element for calculating the temperature rise. Thereafter, we will use colors for representing each value of temperature. Say, so I temperature thermal analysis ചെയ്യുവാണ് ഈ particular machine. So ഞാൻ മെഷീങ് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഓരോ മെഷീൻ്റെയും ടെമ്പറേച്ചർ റൈസിനെ റെപ്രസെൻ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ ഇക്വേഷൻസ് യൂസ് ചെയ്യും. ദെയറാഫ്റ്റർ ആ ഇക്വേഷൻസ് യൂസ് ചെയ്ത് ഈ FEA ടൂൾ തന്നെ ഓരോ എലമെൻറ്റിലെയും ഓരോ സ്മോൾ എലമെൻറ്റിലെയും ടെമ്പറേച്ചർ റൈസ് കാൽക്കുലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യും. ആൻഡ് ഇൻ ദ FEA ടൂൾ ഐ ക്യാൻ ചൂസ് ദാറ്റ് if the temperature is in between 30 degrees Celsius and 40 degrees Celsius, use color yellow for representing that area, that particular element. And if it is between 40 degrees Celsius to 50 degrees Celsius, use red color. So I can select colors like that. So after the analysis, I will get a diagram like this. So by directly looking into the diagram, we will get an idea about the temperature, value of temperature at different points. If any part is overheated, like that, all informations we will get by directly looking into this particular diagram. So this is a diagram obtained after the finite element analysis of this particular machine part. So this is how FEA works. So then by combining the solution to the individual parts, the solution to the entire problem or the temperature rise in this entire machine can be calculated. Okay, so this is the basis of FEA, and if technically speaking, we can say that the finite element analysis replaces a higher order partial differential equation by a number of simple algebraic equations. So നമ്മുടെ കണ്ടിന്യൂസ് ഒബ്ജക്റ്റിനെ മാറ്റി നമ്മൾ എ നമ്പർ ഓഫ് ഫൈനൈറ്റ് എലമെൻസിനെ യൂസ് ചെയ്യുകയാണ്. സോ കണ്ടിന്യൂസ് ഒബ്ജക്റ്റിനെ ആണ് നമ്മൾ ഒരു ഹയർ ഓർഡർ പാർഷ്യൽ ഡിഫറൻഷ്യൽ ഇക്വേഷൻ വെച്ചിട്ട് റെപ്രസെൻറ്റ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടി വരുന്നത്. When that continuous object is replaced by a number of finite elements, we can use simple algebraic equations for representing each of the elements. So FEA replaces a higher order partial differential equation by a number of simple algebraic equations, and they can be individually solved, and by combining those solutions we can get a solution to the higher order partial differential equation. So now let us see the historical background of finite element analysis, how FEA has evolved and what is the current state of finite element analysis. So it is believed that the way to finite element analysis was paved by Shellback in 1851. So what he done was he replaced partial differential equations by simple algebraic equations. So he replaced differential equations by algebraic equations. So even though the name finite element analysis was not formally used, this was the basis of finite element analysis. This was the initial step to finite element analysis. So we know, we have already said that what is done in finite element analysis is a higher order partial differential equation is replaced by simple algebraic equations. So the same was done by Shellback, but that name finite element analysis was not officially introduced at that time. Later in 1942, R. Courant used Ritz method of numerical analysis for solving vibrational systems. For vibration analysis of systems, Courant used the Ritz method. And shortly thereafter, in 1956, Turner, Martin and Tope established a broader definition of numerical analysis. So at that time, these three people, Turner, Martin and Tope, published a paper related to stiffness and deflection of complex structures, so which used different numerical analysis techniques. And in 1960, the term finite element analysis was formally introduced by Clow. So during early 70s, that is during the initial stages of 1970s, The access to finite element analysis was limited to the expensive mainframe computers owned by aeronautics, main industries like defense industry, automotive industry, nuclear industries like that. So they only had access to the finite element analysis. So the scope of analysis was limited at that time. And in the late 70s, the finite element method was further enhanced by people like Sienkiewicz and Cheng. So at that time, they used the finite element method for solving systems represented by Laplace and Poisson's equations. So mathematicians developed better solution techniques like Galerkin-Ritz method, Rayleigh and Ritz method, like that. So several methods for numerical analysis were introduced at that time, and researches were carried out for modeling and solving non-linear problems. And during 1995, more than 3,800 published papers were there related to finite element analysis. And regarding the current situation, now a number of software packages are available which are having finite element analysis capabilities, and also a number of literature is available. Lots of papers and books are available related to finite element analysis, and more people are available about the scope and analysis of finite element tool. So it is a widely used tool among the engineering community nowadays. So next, let us see the advantages of finite element analysis. Modeling of complex geometries and irregular shapes are easier as varieties of finite elements are available for discretization domain. So we can model any complex structure if it is irregular. Any complex geometry or any complex structure can be analyzed using this FEA tool, because we have a number of finite elements. Finite elements can have any shape. We can divide any complex structure into circular, triangular, square, pentagonal, or any shape. So any complex geometry can be modeled. Then boundary conditions can be easily incorporated in finite element method. So we know, we have studied the solution of partial differential equations involving boundary conditions. So FEM also supports the solution of partial differential equations with boundary conditions. It generates the physical response of the system at any location. So we have already said that FEM divides a continuous object into a number of elements and calculate the response corresponds to each of the element. So the response can be calculated at any part of any location of the system. Okay, next is safe simulation of potentially dangerous, destructive or impractical load conditions and failure modes. So we are actually simulating these conditions by using finite element analysis tool. We are actually simulating all these physical conditions like stress, strain, temperature, vibration, etc. So അല്ല ഈ ഫൈനൈറ്റ് എലമെൻറ്റ് ടൂൾ അല്ല യൂസ് ചെയ്തിരുന്നെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് ക്യാഡിൽ നിന്ന് കിട്ടുന്ന ഡിസൈനെ വെച്ചിട്ട് നമ്മളൊരു ഫിസിക്കൽ പ്രോട്ടോടൈപ്പ് ഉണ്ടാക്കിയിട്ട് അതിനകത്ത് ടെസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്ത് നോക്കണമായിരുന്നു. സപ്പോസ് ഇഫ് വി ആർ ടെസ്റ്റിംഗ് ദ ടെമ്പറേച്ചർ റൈസ് ഇൻ എ മെഷീൻ ഇൻ ദാറ്റ് പർട്ടിക്കുലർ ഫിസിക്കൽ പ്രോട്ടോടൈപ്പ്, എന്ത് പറ്റും? ഇഫ് വി ആർ അപ്ലൈയിങ് ആൻ ഓവർലോഡ് ടു ദ മെഷീൻ, ദ ടെമ്പറേച്ചർ വിൽ ഗോ ബിയോണ്ട് ദ പെർമിസിബിൾ ലിമിറ്റ്സ് ആൻഡ് ഇറ്റ്സ് ഇൻസുലേഷൻ ഗെറ്റ്സ് ഡാമേജ്ഡ്. സോ അതൊരു ഡേഞ്ചറസ് സിറ്റുവേഷനാണ്, ഡിസ്ട്രക്റ്റീവ് കണ്ടീഷനാണ്. ആ പ്രോട്ടോടൈപ്പ് നശിച്ചു പോയി. വി കനോട്ട് യൂസ് ഇറ്റ് അഗൈൻ. സോ ഇൻ കേസ് ഓഫ് ക്രാഷ് അനാലിസിസ് ഓഫ് ഓട്ടോമൊബൈൽസ്, if we are testing that on a physical prototype, if we are making a model of that particular car and testing that crash analysis, it will be destructive. So but here using finite element analysis tool, we are actually simulating that condition. We are mimicking that situation. So we can safely simulate that without any danger. FEM is simple, compact and result oriented. So next, nowadays a number of software packages are available with FEM capability and also a number of literature, books, papers, etc. are available, using which one can be a master of finite element analysis. Okay. Next is increased productivity and profit. So FEM, as it is a computerized method, it can easily analyze products. So it increases productivity and profit of manufacturing firms. Then efficient and less expensive design cycle. As it is done by a computer, it is efficient and less expensive. Then optimal use of a model. Several failure modes or physical events can be tested within a common model. So we are testing all these, the behavior of that particular object to different situations in a particular model. So if we have to test the temperature distribution among various parts of a machine, first of all we have to make a model of that machine, and then we are testing all these phenomena in that model. So we can use a model optimally. We can optimally use a model, that is, we can use it maximum number of times. Several failure modes can be simulated. Say for example, in case of an automobile, we have to do crash analysis as well as vibration analysis. എന്തുമാത്രം വൈബ്രേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട് ഓടുമ്പോൾ എന്നും അനലൈസ് ചെയ്യണം. കൊളീഷൻ വന്നാൽ എന്ത് സംഭവിക്കും, ദാറ്റ് ഇസ് ക്രാഷ് അനാലിസിസ്. ഈ രണ്ട് കാര്യങ്ങളും അനലൈസ് ചെയ്യണം. സോ ഇഫ് വി ആർ പെർഫോമിംഗ് ക്രാഷ് അനാലിസിസ് ഓൺ എ ഫിസിക്കൽ പ്രോട്ടോടൈപ്പ്, ഒരു ഫിസിക്കലി ഞാൻ അതിനെ മാനുഫാക്ചർ ചെയ്താണ് ക്രാഷ് അനാലിസിസ് ടെസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് എങ്കിൽ, if the crash is severe, that model gets damaged, that physical prototype gets damaged. We cannot use that again for testing another failure modes. We cannot test vibration on the same model. We have to replace it. But if it is done using finite element analysis, we are using a 3D model for testing that, and that same model can be used for testing different situations, different phenomena. Okay. So these are the advantages of finite element analysis. Now moving on to the disadvantages. Large amount of data is required as input for the mesh in terms of nodal connectivity and other parameters. So input data is required is very large. So we know that we are dividing a continuous object into a number of elements. Then we need equations for each of the element. Then we need data about nodal connectivity, at which all nodes that particular element is connected to the adjacent elements. So several data like that are required as input. Then it requires digital computers. As it requires a computer, it is expensive. Then it requires longer execution time. So each element has to be analyzed, and then all the solution has to be combined. So it is a time consuming process. Then output result will vary considerably. Okay. So meshing. So one can do meshing in his own choice. ഏത് എലമെൻറ്റ് ഏത് ഷേപ്പിൽ മെഷ് ചെയ്യണം, എത്ര നമ്പർ ഓഫ് മെഷസ് ചൂസ് ചെയ്യണം, അതൊക്കെ ഓരോ ഡിസൈനറിനും ചൂസ് ചെയ്യാം ബൈ ഹിംസെൽഫ്. So as that type of meshing or number of meshes varies, the output result is found to have some variation. That is one disadvantage. Then experience and judgment are needed in order to construct a good finite element model. So we have said that the changes, the differences in selection of type of elements and number of elements, etc., results in variation in the output result, leads to variation in the result. So in order to get the best result, the person who is doing this analysis should be an experienced person. Otherwise, sometimes poor meshing may occur. If we are choosing the wrong meshes, that is known as poor meshing. The result will not be accurate. Okay. Now, there can be user-introduced modeling errors such as poor choice of elements, distorted elements, etc. may occur. So these are the disadvantages of finite element analysis. So now let us move on to the applications of finite element analysis. So we have already said that this can be used for analyzing stress, temperature distribution, vibration, crash, etc. So the same things are listed here. So first one is stress analysis. So finite element analysis tool, FEA tool, can be used for analyzing the stress and strain on different civil structures. So for example, it is usually used for analyzing the stress on bridges, buildings, etc. So if we are modeling a bridge using CAD, we have to test whether that bridge is capable of carrying loads. So we have to apply different loads and to analyze the stress coming to various parts of that particular bridge. ഇപ്പോൾ ബ്രിഡ്ജ് നമ്മൾ ക്യാഡിൽ മോഡൽ ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞ് അതിനകത്തേക്ക് ലോഡ് വരുമ്പോൾ, ആൾക്കാർ അതിനകത്തേക്ക് ട്രാവൽ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ വെഹിക്കിൾസ് ആ ബ്രിഡ്ജിലേക്ക് കയറുമ്പോൾ, whether it is capable of carrying that particular load, how much is the stress among various part of the bridge. So we have to calculate all those things, and this can be done using finite element analysis, and that is known as stress analysis. Next is thermal analysis. So we have already discussed about thermal analysis in case of electrical machines. This is mainly used for electrical machines. In machines, we have to calculate the temperature distribution in the different parts of the machine under different load conditions. So next is vibration analysis. So what is vibration? Okay, vibration is the unwanted periodic movement of bodies. So that it is not needed, it's an unwanted periodic movement. So we have to calculate the resonant frequency of vibration. Resonant frequency of vibration എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ frequency of vibration resonant frequency ക്ക് equal ആയാൽ maximum vibration നടക്കും. We know the concept of resonant frequency. So vibration analysis helps to find out the resonant frequency of vibration and the shape of the structure, vibrating structure at each frequency. It is usually done in automobiles. Vibration analysis is done in automobiles. Then seismic analysis. So seismic analysis is done to find out the response of a structure under earthquakes, when subjected to earthquakes. So this is done on bridges, buildings, stationary mechanical equipments, etc. Next one is crash analysis. So this is used for automobiles, and it helps to determine how a car behaves to frontal or sideways collision. What happens when there is a collision, either frontal or sideways collision. Then creep and relaxation. So what is creep? Creep refers to the stretching of some materials with time and the following rupturing. So ചില മെറ്റീരിയൽസ് കുറേ നാൾ കഴിയുമ്പോഴത്തേക്കും സ്ട്രെച്ച് ചെയ്യും. Thereafter it ruptures. So that is known as creep, and creep can be analyzed using this FEA tool. Usually this is done in plastic materials. Plastic materials ആണ് stretch ചെയ്തു പോകുന്നത്. So this finite element analysis tool helps to analyze the creep of plastic materials. Then fatigue. So FEA is a powerful tool for assessing the effect of cyclic loading on components. Fatigue means it is the weakening of a particular component, a localized weakening or cracking of a component due to cyclic loading. Continuous ആയിട്ട് പീരിയോഡിക് ആയിട്ട് നമ്മൾ ലോഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് കാരണം ഒരു കമ്പോണൻറ്റ് ക്രാക്ക് ചെയ്യുകയോ വീക്കൻ ചെയ്യുകയോ ഒക്കെ ചെയ്യുന്നതിനാണ് ഫാറ്റിക് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. സോ ഫാറ്റിക് അനാലിസിസ് ക്യാൻ ഓൾസോ ബി ഡൺ യൂസിങ് finite element analysis. So next one is buckling. So buckling means if we consider a particular length of wire, it can carry less load when it is compressed compared to when it is tensed. So this phenomena is known as buckling. So ഒരു വയർ എടുത്താൽ അത് കംപ്രസ്ഡ് ആയിരിക്കുമ്പോൾ അത് ടെൻസ്ഡ് ആയിരിക്കുമ്പോഴുള്ളതിനേക്കാളും കുറച്ച് ലോഡിനെ അതിന് ക്യാരി ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ. So this phenomena is known as buckling, and finite element analysis tool can be used for testing whether a component partially or fully buckles. Buckle ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടോ ഒരു കമ്പോണൻറ്റ് എന്ന് ടെസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ നമുക്ക് finite element analysis tool യൂസ് ചെയ്യാം. So there are lot more applications of finite element analysis, but these are the main applications of finite element analysis.